Good afternoon and greetings from Jerusalem, Jane. You might hear birds chirping, singing happily outside my window, but today is a mourning's day. Today is a day where all of Israel is grieving. This is Tomer, 27 years old for Kavasaba, moved to Tel Aviv together with his friends. Itan, also 27, childhood friends, moved to Tel Aviv. Last night they went out to have a good time with friends. Tomer had just finished his education. He was about to start a new job. Itam was supposed to be engaged tonight, having an engagement party tonight. But instead, two funerals are taking place. Instead of an engagement party, there's now a funeral for this young man and this young man, brutally executed last night on the streets of Tel Aviv, when yet another horrendous terror attack took place here in Israel. Look at their faces. Remember these faces. Two Jewish families once again have to go to the cemetery and bury their loved one because the Palestinians here in Israel need to liberate Palestine and murder Jews wherever you find them. Last night, it was again back in Tel Aviv that we had this terror attack. I shared a video on my social media where you see people are sitting at this bar, they're having a good time, people are walking by, and all of a sudden you start hearing bam, 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 bam. And this terrorist is just firing loose. A woman is calling 911, frantically screaming, there's blood everywhere, there's blood everywhere. I don't know what to do. What if the terrorist is going to come back? The terrorist managed to escape. Some of the best security forces were set in on a manhunt. People in Tel Aviv was told to stay in your house, stay in your house. Early this morning, this terrorist was found near the mosque in Jaffa. He attacked the security forces and they took him out. Quickly after that, his name was released, a terrorist from Jenin, which is a cesspool of terrorists. So many terrorists from Jenin. Many terrorist organizations are operating in Jenin. I have shared many videos where you see they are marching down the streets like a small army. So when his name was released, hundreds and hundreds of people were flocking to his house, glorifying him, calling him a martyr. His father came out of the house, glorifying his son. Ismail Hari, one of the leaders of Hamas, called the father, saying, "Your son is a hero." The father had been a high-ranking officer in the Palestinian security forces. Some people are saying he currently is. Someone said he was previously. Not with Hamas, not with Islamic Jihad, with the Palestinian Authority, run by President Mahmoud Abbas, Israel's peace partner. What we saw again is Jewish families are crushed because they have to bury their loved one. All of Israel is mourning again, completely heartbroken. And what does all the Muslims do? They are cheering, they are celebrating, they are handing out candies, they are firing fireworks, celebrating that yet another Jew, two Jews were murdered. Absolutely, absolutely horrendous. And sometimes I don't even know what to say anymore because it happens over and over and over again. Terrorist organization are out saying that during this month of Ramadan, there's going to be more and more and more attacks. I don't even know, am I safe walking down the streets in Jerusalem next week? We don't know where the next terrorist is going to attack. Today, 100,000 Muslims were supposed to come to Jerusalem to go to the Temple Mount. It's the first Friday of the month of Ramadan. Everything is on the highest possible alert here in Israel. Would you say a prayer for the families of these two victims? So instead of a good time and an engagement party tonight, there is now a funeral. It is a little bit more than your heart can bear. And it is beyond sick, demonic sick, to see how the Muslims, the Palestinians, the Arabs here in Israel are celebrating these heinous attacks and calling for more and more attacks. So like I said, everything is on high alert, high alert, high alert here in Israel. Please pray for the security forces who is out 24/7, 365, putting their lives on the line. The security establishment, Israel's defense minister Benny Gantz, was out saying for people to stay alert, but continue your everyday life as normal as possible, when literally you don't know where the next terror attack is going to happen. We had it in Beersheba, we have had them in Jerusalem, we had them in Tel Aviv, many other places. And on top of that, the security forces have prevented numerous terror attacks. They have taken out a terrorist cell who was in the car with weapons on the way to commit a massacre. So it's only because these guys are so alert and doing such a good job that we literally don't have murdered Jews every single day here in Israel. So we are bracing for this Shabbat. We don't know how this Friday is gonna turn out. How sick is it that in the mosque in Jenin, throughout the loudspeakers, in what is supposed to be a house of prayer, they are glorifying this terrorist. It's so repulsive, I don't even know what to say. So please pray for the victims. I think it was 10 to 13 people who were injured, who is in the hospital. Please pray for a speedy recovery for them. My deepest condolences are going out to these two young men who was brutally murdered last night in Tel Aviv. Please pray for their families, for God to comfort them, to strengthen them, to lift them in this time of deep sorrow. Many Israelis have been murdered now within the last 2 weeks because another terror attack. For such a time as this, me and my house will always stand with Israel. God is telling us to comfort my people. And tonight, there's a funeral instead of an engagement party. I'm lost for words. Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for listening to this video. Would you share it out? Because you probably won't hear this in mainstream media, or you won't hear the accurate details. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you for standing with Israel. May God bless his nation, and may he lift and may he comfort his people. Bye.